Hi, everybody. Welcome to this live stream. My name is Nicola Brown. I'm a textile artist based here in rural Ireland, and my upcoming challenge is all about upcycling your clothing or eco-printing fabric in the dirty pot without using traditional powdered mordants. I'm here this evening just to share the schedule with you and answer any questions for those of you who may still be wondering whether you want to jump on board with me and all the other participants. I also want to just give a brief rundown of one or two things. So there may be some questions that you have in your mind. So I'm just going to flick through a few slides and you can ask yourself the following questions. So, are you totally new to the eco-printing process? Do you even know what it is? It's where you're using leaves, onion skins, and bark to create beautiful color and print on fabric. It's also possible to print on paper, but for the purpose of the challenge, our main emphasis, we're concentrating on eco-printing garments. So upcycling clothes from our own wardrobes or thrift store finds. And also everything that I share applies to fabric as well. So if you wanted to eco-print fabric and then use that for sewing, that would be perfect. Maybe you're not sure where to start. Maybe you've seen eco-printing or botanical printing online, on Facebook or on Instagram, and you're just not sure where to start. You might be a homeschooler and you're looking for something to do with your children, something that's enjoyable and with adult supervision that's safe. You might be a grandmother and you might want something to do with your grandkids when they come to visit, and you're not sure where to start. Maybe you're aware of what you need to do to get started, but you're actually afraid that you're going to ruin your fabric. And trust me, there are many people like that. And I totally understand that anxiety. You just are ready to get going, but something is stopping you. You just lack that confidence or the urge to just go any further. You're in preparation mode for a long time and you just never get started. Or maybe you're short for time, maybe you're short for space, or you think you don't have the equipment necessary to get started. And you might also be already an experienced eco-printer, but you've only previously worked using chemicals, using traditional powdered mordants to fix the natural dye color. So you might be interested in working in a more environmentally mindful and a health conscious way. And I'm guessing that you might be interested in creating stylish new garments and fun accessories from clothes that you're either no longer wearing, that you found in a thrift store, or they totally need to be revamped. And we all have clothes like that in our wardrobes. Well, I certainly know that I do. There could be that white cotton t-shirt that after a period of time, it's looking a little bit yellowish, or you've got a stain on it, you've spilled some coffee, you might have spilled some wine on something. Trust me, I'm going to be taking you by the hand and I'm going to be showing you how to break the eco-printing in the dirty pot process that's creating beautiful eco-prints on your garments and fabric without using those traditional powdered mordants or chemicals. I'm going to break this down into really simple tasks, and so that even if you have very little free time, you're going to be able to follow along and you're going to be able to create some amazing eco-printed pieces. I can absolutely guarantee that. I'm quite confident that if you follow exactly what I share during the first 8 days of the challenge, you are going to be able to create some amazing pieces. Now, the fact that I say the first 8 days, that does not mean that I'm expecting you to work every day. You can do this in your own time. However, the people who follow along in the order that I release the content. So reading the information and watching any videos from day 1, then follow that with day 2, day 3, day 4, etc., etc. If you follow in order and don't get impatient and don't jump ahead, you're going to get the absolute most out of the challenge. And it is an 8-day challenge. I'm going to share a schedule with you in a second. It is an 8-day challenge. However, all the content and support from me and Shauna, who's helping behind the scenes, all of that is going to be available until Monday, the 28th of November. So if you're away during the first 8 days, when you come back, you will have access to all the content in your library, all the videos, and you will still have a further 5 weeks to work through everything. So please don't think I'm expecting you all to do everything exactly as I release the content, although you will get the most out of it if you do, but there is plenty of time and you will get my feedback as well, even if you don't get started for a few weeks. So I think I'm just going to share the schedule with you. Now, when I say share the schedule, you're going to see here. So here we go. This is actually just a screenshot of the content in the library in Kajabi. I'm currently uploading and fine-tuning everything that's going up. So I'm not showing you everything that's happening, but I am showing you the title of the information for the next 8 days, or the 8 days when the challenge starts. So the challenge is starting on Monday, the 17th of October. And if you look at that screenshot there, you can see on the right-hand side, it does say draft, and there's a little drop-down arrow beside draft. So for people who join the challenge, when you click on, it won't say draft for you, obviously, once I release the content. It will be live and you won't see what's still to come. All you'll see is what's already available. But when you click the little drop down arrow, you will then see all the content for that day. So on some days there will be videos, there will be text, there might be a PDF file to download. So you will be able to see all of that when you click the little drop down arrow, and the content will say published. So we'll just go through this. So on Monday, the 17th, everything is about getting you ready, giving you an indication of what's happening. It's about orientation. There will be optional things to read or look at, but I want everyone to understand, if you have 15 minutes a day, 10 or 15 minutes a day, aside from the day that you're physically eco-printing, you have got plenty of time to do this challenge. It's all getting broken down. So that orientation, I'm going to record a few little videos of myself tomorrow, actually using the Kajabi library, because I've learned from experience that sometimes, I mean, I have participated and I am participating in workshops that other people are facilitating, and that's to develop my own business and help me teach people better. And I find that when I use a new platform, such as Kajabi, regardless of how easy it is, it can be confusing at the beginning. So I'm going to record a couple of really simple videos tomorrow of myself using Kajabi once I have day one content finalized. And then I will be sharing that with all the participants. So people will be able to follow along, and of course can ask me or Shauna questions if they can't. But I just want to reassure everybody, if you can write and answer an email, you should be able to participate in the challenge. So there's no need to stress, and I will repeat things for people who are not happy with that, you know, if they're having problems. The main thing is, if you register for the challenge, you need to set up and it will ask you to set up your Kajabi account. That's essential because that's where all the videos and the content will be hosted. And please remember your password. Okay, Don't forget your password. I will never be told your password, and Kajabi don't store it either. I can activate a reminder email for you, but I can't tell you what your password is. So day one is all about preparation. I'll let you know certain things you can start gathering. It's about orientation. That is happening on Monday. And then on Tuesday, the 18th of October, everything on Tuesday is about the garments. It's about the different styles, the types, where to find them, how to, all about the garments. On Wednesday, it's about preparing rust water if you would like to eco-print cellulose-based fabric, which is fabric that has come from a plant. So cellulose-based fabric would be fabrics such as cotton, linen, RAMI, HEMP. That requires a different process for preparing it when you are working without those traditional powdered chemicals or mordants. So that is what Wednesday is all about: preparing your rust water. I discuss pipes with you, and I give you options. If you don't have metal pipes, I explain how metal pipes can enhance the color of your pieces, how they can make them more color fast, etc., etc. And I've written string there. That's as much a reminder for me, because I want to just let you know on Wednesday as well the other things: scissors, string, a bucket, etc., that you will need before an eco printing session. Then Thursday, the 20th of October, is all about the dirty pot. And the dirty pot technique of eco printing is what I am best known for. And that's using the composition of the pot, the metal of your pot, to achieve specific results. Now, on Monday, when I go on about the preparation, I will give you a list of things. So please don't get edgy about the pot. I will give you a brief list of things you can be on the hunt for before I get on into that. But definitely, I will go in depth into the eco printing in the dirty pot experience on Thursday. And then on Friday, everything is about the vegetation, about the preparation of your fabric, an eco printing checklist, etc., etc. Definitely that is going to be a good day. It's going to be the day that you learn just about getting ready. And I find that if I prepare for an eco printing session the night before, it gives me a really good head start in the morning. Aside from that, you need to prepare your clothes the night before. Then on Saturday, Saturday will be eco printing step by step. Saturday is the day that I will be sharing a lot of videos of me eco printing different garments, and also a piece of vintage Japanese kimono silk. That's a flat piece of felt. So you would use that if you were printing a scarf, for example, you would follow that. So if you don't have a lot of time, I mean, as I say, I'm not recommending you aim to do every single thing exactly at the same time as I share it, but you may very well want to. But if you're short for time, I'm going to give you which videos I recommend you watch first, and then you can do some work, and then you can come back at a later date and watch the others. So everything will be broken down. So don't worry about that. Then Sunday is all about neutralizing, washing the garments, ironing the garments, etc., etc. And Sunday is all about assessing the finished pieces. Now, when I say assessing the finished pieces, I will be sharing all the finished pieces that I made specifically and had a professional videographer record me making or printing for this workshop. So you are going to see these pieces from start to finish. You will see me eco printing. You'll see my setup for the cooker, all of that sort of stuff. You'll see how hot my pot liquid is. So by the stage that you see me assessing the pieces, I suspect that many of you will have your own pieces to assess at that time as well. Now, I'm going to just remove that for a minute. I see there is a question here from Linda, and she's saying she cut up some older clothes for weaving. She thinks she has more to work with in linen from her. I don't know what M and N is, but if you have linens, they are going to be wonderful to eco print. You're going to get super results, Linda. And what's really exciting about the eco printing process is that we can print wool that has been prepared in one way at the same time as we can print linen that has the fabric has been prepared in a different way. They both go into the pot at the same time. And I would say, excuse me one second, I'm just scrolling down here. And by the way, if I happen to get cut off, we have been having thunderstorms and incredible hailstones for almost all of today. So please just, if I get cut off, that's what's happened. So if you've just joined in, some of you may actually be wondering what the learning experience, eco-print, what this new learning experience is all about. Eco-printing your clothes in the dirty pot. It is all about the transformation. It's not so much about the stuff. I've shown you what the stuff is going to be. It's going to be videos, PDF files, etc., etc. It's not just about the stuff. It's actually about the transformation. And the transformation is on many different levels. It's about the transformation in you, giving you confidence and the skills and the knowledge to repeat this process by yourself time after time without needing me helping over your shoulder. But the whole reason for the challenge is for me to be able to help you. It's going to transform your textile practice. If you're a beginner, it's like all your birthdays have arrived at the one time when you start opening your bundles. It's honestly the most exciting thing. And although I'm years into my eco printing, the excitement never, ever fails to occur. I wake up in the morning, I'm really excited, I get out there, and opening bundles is magical. If you're approaching this from the perspective that you're used to using traditional powdered mordants, and certainly I don't have a problem with using traditional powdered mordants when I am doing natural dyeing with leaves that are not substantive, with vegetation that does not give lasting color when the pieces are done, because there's nothing worse than getting nice prints or something and then they all fade. So there's much vegetation that does not give good eco prints in the dirty pot, but it gives very good prints when you use mordants. However, my choice is to work in the most environmentally mindful and health conscious way possible. So I only mordant my textiles when I'm using plants that I have grown in the garden for natural dyeing, and they need that mordant to fix the color. There's nothing wrong with that. But what I want to do is show you a more environmentally mindful way of working. It's going to transform how you look at nature, how you look at the trees, weeds in the cracks on the ground, etc., etc. It's going to transform how you look at things, because each time you look at something, you're going to say, "Ooh, I wonder," or "Look at that beautiful shape. Will that print? Will it not print?" It's a beautiful way of living with the seasons, because often leaves that don't print early in the season when they're young and fresh, they will print later in the season. Seed pods print. So it's just, you're going to look at nature differently. It has certainly transformed the way many of my online workshop and in-person students have looked at nature in the past. I've always been pretty tuned in because I'm an outdoor kind of person. I've worked outside for many years, first of all with horses and gardening. I just love the outdoors, and I'm always looking at things changing, but not everybody is. And if you live in an urban environment or a city environment, that does not mean you're not going to have access to vegetation. So don't worry about that either. It's amazing what you can find. And obviously there's going to be that transformation with the garments, with your eco printing process. So I'm just going to add that schedule back in and go on to the next page here. So there's more than just that schedule, which obviously needs all the content added into it. So as well as all the step-by-step videos, the text, the PDFs that you can download that are hosted in your library, people who join me are going to have access to a live welcome from me every morning for the first 8 days. There is a private Facebook group only for club members, and that will be active for the full 6 weeks that the challenge, that access is there for all the challenge information. Already, there are loads of people who have joined the challenge who are now in the Facebook group, and Shauna and I are checking multiple times a day. So if you decide to jump on board and join me for the challenge, and you send a request to join the private Facebook group, bear in mind, we might be in a different time zone, so it might take me, until the morning if I'm in bed to do that. But trust me, we're on to that. Then you're going to have the opportunity to ask questions. And look, I've just realized, look at my dreadful spelling there. So you're going to have the opportunity to ask me questions in the Facebook group, upload images, get feedback from me, from your fellow group members. And it's just amazing the sense of community that it will develop. It's already obvious to me that it's going to be there. And it has happened in all the previous online learning experiences that I've hosted. So there also are going to be some bonus Q&A sessions with me between now and the 28th of November. I'm not actually publishing dates for them yet, but everybody who's in the challenge will have the opportunity to join in, a couple of live sessions. And I will make sure that if there's a session early in the morning one day, there will also be a session late at night on another day, Irish late at night. So that if you live on the other side of the world, there will at least be the opportunity to join at some stage, to join me live. But of course, Shauna and I will be inviting your questions in the Facebook group, and they will be things that I'm going to be answering as well. And woohoo, we have Aloha from Hawaii. Hi, Vicky. Fantastic to have you joining in here. Aloha back from Ireland. So, bonus sessions. There's going to be a Zoom graduation party, and again, probably two, just so that everybody who has participated in the challenge will be able to come on, see other members face-to-face via Zoom, wear some of the things that they upcycle, etc., and just, have a bit of fun. And that graduation party will not be sort of on day 9 or day 10. I will wait for a couple of weeks to make sure that everybody has time to actually do some work. Now, it won't be on week 6. It will probably be at the end of the 2nd week or the 3rd week, just to give everybody a chance to get going and finish their pieces. And then often I get asked for a certificate. Sometimes people who participate in workshops, they would actually like to have a certificate saying that they have done something with me. This particularly happens, I think, more in Asian countries, because often if you have a certificate for certain things, you may be able to teach or share your skills somewhere. So I'm happy to do, it'll be an emailed certificate of completion for those who work through the content, but you're going to need to share images with me of work you've done through the Facebook group. I need to know you've actually done it, not that you've just joined the challenge and not physically done any work. So if you'd like a certificate of completion, that is important. I'm happy to give you one, providing I know that you have actually worked through the content and you understand the process. And I also think what could be really fun would be the opportunity to have an online gallery of work. I'll put it exhibition style up on my public Facebook page. Now, what is in the what's in the Facebook group stays in the Facebook group unless people give me permission to share their images, etc., etc. So I would never share anything that somebody does not know about. So there will be a request for images from you, maybe even in a specific format. once we get to that stage, and then Shauna and I will collate a lovely gallery of work that you have all done, etc., etc. We might have like a virtual fashion show or something as well, but we can discuss that as a group. So I hope that shares with you, really about the transformation, about what's happening. And I see that Linda has put up mother-in-law. I wondered, Linda, was it? But when you said M-I-N, I wasn't quite sure what the N was. So I realized it should be M-I-L, I think. So if you have some linens from your mother-in-law, perfect. And don't forget as well that everything we do, everything we do here, everything that I'm sharing in the challenge about upcycling your garments in the dirty pot, that can be applied to any sort of yardage. So if you have old woolen blankets, if you've linen tablecloths, if you have anything at all in your house that is a pale color and a natural fabric, it's good for the eco printing pot. So I think that really is everything from me, unless any of you have any questions. So you've just got 30 seconds to type a question in the chat, please. But I hope I've answered your questions if you're wondering whether this is for you. I will come back online one more time tomorrow, the same time, 6 p.m. BST, and that will just be my final live stream of the week. Again, it's only just to see if there's anybody who needs more information before making a decision. Because something that's really important is I only want people to join me for the challenge who would like to work with me and be part of a community where we are doing this in a fun and supportive environment. I don't ever want anybody to feel that I'm putting pressure on them to join, but I do want to answer your questions. Okay, so I can see there are no questions now. So I'm going to say over and out from Ireland tonight. Oh, 1 second, there might be one. Oh, Linda. Linda's just saying, sorry for the mother-in-law confusion. No worries, Linda. I did wonder, but we have it. Don't worry. You definitely can eco-print your mother-in-law's linen. So look, thank you all so much. I cannot tell you how excited I am to get going on Monday. I have a good bit of work to do behind the scenes myself between now and then, but everything is under control and I really look forward to the challenge. Over and out. Bye.